And I've had this happen to me probably once a month because I'm still new and I make mistakes. When this happens, you do not reach out to the customer and say, hey, by the way, all right, welcome back to Amazing Abner. I am Tom, and my headset is throwing me off a little bit here. Let me see what I'm doing. All right, hopefully that's a little bit better. Before I get started in this video, I will note that I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I was trying to upgrade the YouTube channel, and I ordered a ring light. The ring light came. I'm actually in the process of returning it. It was not at all what I thought. If you turned all the lights out and it was pitch black and I put that ring light up to as bright as it would get, I might as well have a candle. It was not bright at all. So I've learned something there. I will get another one. To get rid of this bulky headset, I have a little lapel mic that I'll be able to clip to my shirt. Hopefully the quality is nice there. Eventually I'll get an actual mic that you'll see. It'll either be one that hangs down or just one on my desktop here. I'd like to go to kind of like a little set, so these would look a little more professional instead of seeing my junky office with, inventory and a TV that I said also in one of my last videos I was going to list on Facebook. I haven't done that yet. So got to get a lot of things still taken care of and cleaned up here. However, you clicked on this video because of the title, What Not to Do When You're Shipping on eBay. And I had a recent little situation here that I thought was worth sharing. And I feel like my videos are more for new eBay sellers, or really, I guess, if you're a new seller online, regardless. It doesn't have to be eBay. So I purchased I'm not going to say what I purchased, actually, because this is going to be uploaded to YouTube before Christmas. It was a gift from my wife. In case I don't think my wife watches my channel, but just in case she would, I can't go into that detail. So I ordered a gift for my wife, and as soon as it was actually an auction, so as soon as I won the auction, I entered my PayPal information and paid instantly for it. And I think it was the next morning I got a message, and I'm going to put these up on the screen to again show you what not to do if you are a seller and you run into the situation. So I'm looking over here at my other screen. So the message I received, I think it was the following morning. It was said postage to Cincinnati, as I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, was $10.90. I would appreciate receiving the difference of $2.11. So the math was a little bit off there. Not substantially. I paid $8.75 shipping, and I'll put my little breakdown here on the screen so you can see exactly what I paid for this. It wasn't not a very expensive item, as you can see. According to the seller here, who will remain nameless, the difference I owed them was $2.11 because they went to send this off to Cincinnati and got a different shipping amount than they thought. So as I mentioned, the math was a little bit off. They said I owed them $2.11. It actually would have been $2.15 if the shipping was indeed $10.90, which we'll get into that in a second as well. So the first lesson here is, if you are a new seller and something like this were to happen, I've been selling currently on eBay for about 4 months, and I've had this happen to me probably once a month because I'm still new and I make mistakes. When this happens, you do not reach out to the customer and say, hey, by the way, you owe me a couple of bucks. I need you to send it to my PayPal account. It's called the cost of doing business, and it's a lesson learned as a seller. You eat that amount, your profit margin shrinks a little bit, and that's what it is. If you want an easy way to get a ding on your account and to get a negative feedback, it's to do something like this. Since I'm a seller, I hesitated at first. I was like, oh my God, I want to give this person a negative feedback immediately. But I thought I'd fish a little bit and see what they said. Okay, so my reply was, I've never been asked to pay more after finalizing a purchase. Is this common practice? I knew it wasn't, but I wanted to see what they were going to come back with. Also, how would I pay? I would only be comfortable paying through eBay. So I wanted to see if they we're going to try to like break rules or what exactly the whole situation was here. Their reply to that was, I'm only asking because the mailing was more than I expected. Again, it doesn't matter. You just don't do this. If you don't want to pay, that's okay. It would be paid through PayPal. So they backed off of it a little bit there. It was also this time I made a post on Instagram, Amazing Abner on Instagram. If you don't follow me, go ahead and check that out. And I had a lot of wonderful comments there that made me at least reinforce the fact that I wasn't nuts, that this is not something that you do. Everybody was in agreement. They thought this person was making a mistake, and they were. Unfortunately, this person has, I'm not going to give the exact amount here because, again, I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, but I will just say they are between 100 and 200 positive feedback. Actually, they're 100%, and that's how many feedbacks they've received. So for me to give them a negative feedback, I would have felt terrible to do that to another seller. But boy, they opened the door big time with asking me to pay more postage. I mean, it was terribly inappropriate. So then I waited a little bit. I think I waited a day, and then I replied again. What is your PayPal? How will you know the payment came from me? And again, I'm just fishing and trying to see what they're going to reply with. And at that point, they replied, don't worry about it. It was my fault for underestimating the postage. I'll take the loss. Enjoy the item. I almost said it. And we'll have that blurred out on the screen or blocked out. So enjoy the item. That's all they needed to do in the beginning. I doubt that they looked at my buyer name and then put it together with Instagram and saw that I was asking about them and realized, oh, I shouldn't have done this. I'm assuming they just came to their senses on their own, or maybe they're, a duo and somebody, the other partner saw it and said, what are you doing? We don't do this. But whatever it was, they did the right thing in the end. I'm certainly not going to give positive feedback to this seller, but I'm not going to do negative either. I will just leave it be. But the moral of the story is, if you have a shipping shortage as the seller, just eat it. Don't do what this person did. You're opening yourself up, and they would not have had a leg to stand on. And if they would have disputed my negative feedback with eBay, I would have just shown this conversation and said, what did you want me to do? So anyway, but there is one last little tidbit here. So when I got the package that cost the seller $10.90 to ship to me, let me see what I need to have covered up here. I got it in the mail, and this is what I got. $9.06. So not only did they not pay $10.90, they only paid $9.06 versus the $8.75 that I paid as part of the shipping. So in reality, they were out a quarter and 6 cents, 31 cents. 31 cents. So they opened themselves up to a negative feedback for 31 cents. And really, it's difficult for me not to leave the negative feedback, even now as I talk about it and I see this box and I see the postage, because that was just, I want to say a lie. I will take a step back and I will assume that they initially thought it was going to be $10.90. Maybe they were looking at the wrong shipping method, and then when they found the right one, it was $9.06, and that's when they decided to say, oh, don't worry, it's my fault. Anyway, I don't want to ramble anymore. I just thought, somebody might get some use out of seeing this type of situation, seeing what not to do. Yeah, terrible. Absolutely terrible. So before we get out of here, though, if you've made it this far in the video, please consider hitting the like button. And to be extra special to me, during this holiday season, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. I bring up the bell icon as well from time to time. Go ahead and hit the bell. What the heck? It is the holiday season, as I mentioned. So thank you all for tuning in. Greatly appreciated. I am Tom. We'll see you next time.